Alright, this ain't no jive. Here we are live at 5. Welcome to Break On Through. I'll let some of you get in the house. Taking a little bit for everybody to show up now. Alright, there we got somebody. Robert Cobb. How's it going, man? Well, as you may have noticed right when you came on, I got the phone sideways to film sideways. Everything's still backwards. But it's not the way that I normally have it, because I like to look right here. Because it kind of looks like I'm looking straight, but I'll end up looking at what you guys are posting, who's all here, so it's going to look like I'm looking off into the wild blue yonder. So we just got to deal with it for now. That's well, we got the up and down hurdle worked out, but we'll get this sideways thing figured out at some point. Shitty week. Shitty week. Oh well, I'm not going to dwell on it today. I got some interesting stuff to tell you guys today. I don't know if you noticed, my ad for today's show was of David Allan Coe as the mysterious rhinestone cowboy. But today's show is going to center around David Allan Coe. Now, I know y'all probably thinking, damn, Jeff Clayton, you don't know enough ANTiSEEN history to keep things going. But I mean, I'm telling you, it's gonna come back around. So you listen up and listen good. What is that? Is that the camera? Or is that the camera? Is that the camera? There's the camera. Okay. Also want to reiterate that if we get another troll on here, do not engage. Let them sit there and say whatever they want to say, and when no one responds, they'll just look like an idiot and go away, because attention is what they want. I will not give my enemies what they want. Alright. Release news. Man, y'all are probably going to hate me for this one. But it's kind of not my fault. But, you know the single we did with Jerry A. singing, Poison Idea singing with us? Well, there were two versions. A first release black vinyl, and to accommodate the overrun covers, we were able to do a second version, not a second pressing, but well, I guess it was a second pressing, because we pressed them in orange. Well, once all the original covers were filled with orange, we then had the problem of orange vinyl overrun. So, this coming Thursday, I will have the third and final version of ANTiSEEN with Jerry A. Now, this is not it. This is test pressing. But the cover is going to look just like this, except it's going to be fuchsia. It'll have the inside just like the originals, but it'll have this cover. The beautiful Beauregard. And the other side will have the great Michael P.S. Hayes. So, I don't know at this point. Y'all may be saying, how many the fuck times you think you can make us buy the same record? I'm trying to get into government, you know, since I learned how many times I can tax the same dollar. But no, it'll be on the website probably next week. I get them Thursday, so it'll take me a couple of days to get them on the website. Well, like I told you, I'm going to talk about David Allan Coe. Now, for years, and I don't know how many, man, it might have been around 10. David Allan Coe would play a club in Charlotte called the Palomino Club. It's right on the outskirts, right before the outskirts of Charlotte on the Albemarle Road. And David Allan Coe would always come and play the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I mean, it was like you could put it on your calendar. For years, getting off work on Wednesday meant going home, getting ready, resting up a little bit, getting ready to go to Coe at the Palomino. And then you have Thanksgiving the next day. And we used to have the day off after Thanksgiving at work, but not now. Well, I do. But anyway. So a lot of those shows were really, really good, man. But matter of fact, when we first started going to see him on these Thanksgiving Eve shows, the first few, that band called Confederate Railroad was his backing band. And I don't know if any of y'all know anything about them, but they're pretty damn incredible. And Coe had some really, really good shows with those guys behind him. And actually, there was one show in particular. It might have been the best one I saw with that lineup. And at the time, this might have been around 90 or into 91. I didn't have any tattoos. I didn't get any tattoos till 1991. And I don't know, like most of us, I guess, when maybe when we first saw Black Flags, like, oh man, that Henry dude, all them tattoos, I'd like to get some tattoos, maybe, I don't know. But then it may have been Rose Tattoo. Seeing their record covers, but I was like, God damn, I don't want to get that many fucking tattoos. But anyway, they were doing Whipping Post by the Allman Brothers. And Coe wasn't wearing those crazy hair extensions or wigs then. He was just had that frizzy hair and a scruffy beard, and he had on a looked like a Confederate general's hat, but I mean it wasn't gray like that. But he's wearing some kind of hat, and they got to the breakdown in the song, and he was like he had taken off whatever vest he was wearing, and he was just wearing a white kind of dress shirt. And he got to the end of the song, the sometimes I feel, and he got to the like I've been, and he ripped his shirt open like that and put it around like this. And man, you could see all those prison tattoos and man, it was right then. I was like, yeah, I'm getting tattooed. It made such an impact on me. But yeah, always enjoyed. I mean, he's always doing something. After a while, he's always doing something different, you know. And sometimes you see him, it just be him and two other guys. Sometimes it just be him and one other guy. Sometimes he'd have another band, you know, but none as good as Confederate Railroad, in my opinion. But even Mark Rainey came out from the West Coast. No, I think at the time maybe he was living in Virginia, but he came down and went and seen Coe with me one time. But man, around 1996, I saw 96 or 97. I saw the weirdest David Allan Coe show I had ever seen. It was at a place called the Graduate, over near the college on Highway 49 here in Charlotte. And the club didn't last long, of course, but Coe's playing there one night, so I'm there. But you go in, and the stage has a wooden gate in front of it. I mean, that's not uncommon, you know, for going in some clubs that host a lot of cover bands and stuff. You see that pretty often. That wasn't what was weird. What was weird is there was a drum platform up there, but no drums. And 3 amps, 3 very small amps, 2 on either side of the drum platform, and 1 on the drum platform. And behind the drum platform is a gigantic airbrushed picture of David Allan Coe's face and his cowboy hat. They had 2 video screens on either side of the airbrush painting. So Coe comes out. He's standing on the drum platform. He's got a bass player and another guitar player on either side of the platform. In front, there was like longhorn skulls, all kind of Indian art. I mean, there might have been a stuffed buzzard or something like that, or, you know, something. But and that mask that he has, I don't know if you guys ever noticed it. He's always got it on one of his amps or somewhere on the stage. This time, it had a wooden like holder, and it sat on that center stage. So you're looking, you see this mask with this long hair on it and the mouth, you know, sewn shut, and then Coe's right there, and then you see his big airbrush picture behind. And now maybe you think, well, that's not too weird, but it gets weird. He also had a bubble machine. Yeah, stuffed buzzard, that's what it was. And he had lasers. Kind of like, you know, on the Who's video of Won't Get Fooled Again, and do like this. He had those up here like this. Had a light rig. Yeah, I guess this is one they brought with them, you know, and it was doing all kind of stuff, man, strobes, but oh, and there were frog machines. So he's doing, you know, will you lay with me in a field of stone? Lasers. Bubble machine, smoke machine, you know, lights. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. Now, afterwards, he didn't come out and talk to anyone, but he was on his bus, and one of the guys that were on the security team was there at the door, and he let you bring stuff, and he would sign it. Well, this is probably about the rarest thing I have by him. You see, he signed it right there. The guy that took it in said he did a double take when he saw that one. This is a original with the die-cut prison bars. I don't know how rare it is. I haven't seen it very often. Maybe some of you guys are still in the record collecting business know how rare that thing is. Dave Preno, I bet you know. Malcolm Tent, you may know. Anyway, but over the years, I have picked up some weird stuff at David Allan Coe shows. Here's his paperback book. And it's pretty good, but it's kind of like a Chopper book. You know, Chopper Reed from Australia. His saying is, never let the truth get in the way of a good yarn. I think Coe goes by that same philosophy. And there's some pictures in there, little black and white pictures and stuff. But I never see this around either. I don't know. If I ever get to see him again, I'd like for him to sign these. But here's another book. I think I bought this at the same time as that one. He got some mileage out of that picture right there. Poems, Prouse, and Short Stories. And it's got some, it's like a poem on each page. But it's got some good pictures in here too. Here's one of my favorites, him and George Jones. Badass. But here is something I picked up. I picked this up at that at the Weird Show with the lasers and stuff. And I would have to say that this was probably the main inspiration for us doing Destructo Maximus. This one right here. This is David Allan Coe. Pretty thick book too, look at her. But you can even look and see how, we kind of got the idea for the format, all that stuff. I'm going to turn it around here so y'all can see something. Good stuff. I kept looking. I didn't know to look back then, but I'm looking now. There's a lot of stuff in here, and I have a feeling that somewhere in some of these pictures, our old buddy Mr. Bandana may be in them. Bandana was security for Coe and for Hank Jr. back in the 70s. And anyway, so you're going, all right, so how does this come around to ANTiSEEN? Well, okay. In the 90s, we recorded a split single with Cocknews. On our side, it was taken from the Eat More Possum album. We did the George Jones song, I've Aged 20 Years and 5. And Cocknews did the David Allan Coe song, Living on the Run. Well, my good buddy, the Widowmaker from Cocknews, mailed David Allan Coe a copy of the record. And I apparently wrote him a letter with it and all this stuff. Much to his surprise, he wrote back a pretty long letter. He was telling him to that if he writes him back again, to watch his language, because his kids read his mail sometime. And, I just remember Justin, Widowmaker, saying Yeah, Mr. Don't Bite the Dick That Fucks You told me to watch my language. That's pretty good. But anyway, after that, at David Allan Coe shows, we were getting reports. I mean, this is before we were all on the internet, so you had to get, you know, people calling you, leaving messages, or sending you letters and stuff. And they're just like, man, I saw David Allan Coe the other night in Missouri somewhere, you know, and he said that he mentioned cock news in one of his songs. We're just like, wow. And I'm pretty sure Justin got to see him and hear him do that. But I mean, I did. I heard him go. He would do long-haired redneck rock and roll son of the South. And when he's talking about all the groups he likes, you know, the Allman Brothers, Leonard Skinner, and he'd throw cock noose in there. So that was really good. Well, then the next of the Thanksgiving shows that happened after we started hearing about the cock noose, I gave him a copy of the Conqueror Worm CD that we originally did on Baloney Shrapnel Records, and then and I gave him, let's see, what that would have been the 90s. I guess I gave him Here to Ruin Your Groove, and I don't know, maybe, you know, if we had any more possible on CD, I must have gave him that. But so I gave him well, I didn't give him to him. I gave him to the guy working the merch stand, which is the guy, one of the guys you'd see with him every time he came through town, and he, I wrote him a letter. I just said, you know, hey, like it or not, you were a big influence on this music, and you know, big fans, all this stuff. And I told him and his family have a happy Thanksgiving, all that. So, we're standing out, you know, in the front. Show's starting. I didn't know if the guy had given this stuff to him yet or not. But I'm standing there, and he comes out, and they start. The band's already playing that rock and roll, long-haired redneck rock and roll son of the South. And he comes walking out, walks right up to where I'm standing, and reaches down and shakes my hand. So I'm like, oh, okay, he got it, you know. And then he's doing the song, and he goes, he does the line, you know, and I like to listen to cock noose, and I like me some ANTiSEEN. And you know, it was Charlotte, so a lot of the crowd knew who that was, and that was pretty cool. And then years later, we actually got to open for him at Tremont, and we didn't see him till he walked on stage at this point, but I had the. I don't know if I still have it in here. Yeah, it's up there. I don't know if y'all can see it. No, you can't. But I had that stuffed possum. Not a real possum. It's a plush possum. And we used to have it on the drum kit. And that night, it fell off or something, and I was just walking around with it. And I'm standing over on the side of the stage watching the show, and I put it up on my shoulder, and Coe, you know, he had on his sunglasses and stuff, but he's just kind of looking down at what he's doing. He kind of looks over at me, looks back down, and then goes like that, and I just kind of went like, hey. So, yep. So that's our stories with David Allan Coe, and I don't know, man. You guys write me. Give me some ideas of what you want to hear about. Be glad to talk about it. I'll talk about anything. Anything, anytime, anywhere. Thank you guys for tuning in. I always enjoy talking to you. And like I said, third version of Jerry A will be in this week. And man, I'm hoping before Thanksgiving that we are going to have our 10-inch split with Before I Hang. Real anxious for hear what you guys think of that. It's a step off the norm, but still good old ANTiSEEN. So I guess I'll see you then again next Tuesday, right here. You'll see my face in this place. And so remember, whatever you do, you're going to have to put your best foot forward when it's time to break on through.